Hey, goodness to you. Goodness, not knowing whether it's morning, good afternoon, or good evening that you're watching. But this is Sporty King coming to you live, and I'm actually on a little early. So if you're joining me live for the 1 o'clock broadcast, we haven't started yet. But I decided to get on 6 minutes early, like 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Well, I did 6 minutes, Sporty King, you're on. And what I always do with my broadcast is personal choice. If you decide to do a Facebook Live or any kind of live, is I like to get on 3 to 5 minutes before they start, so it gives a chance for Facebook to do what they call build the audience and let everybody know Sporty King's on. Because sometimes if you know it comes on at 1, and then when you get that thing at 1, you're like, oh my god, I forgot, and then you need to close something out. And so you missed the first minute. It's not a big deal because you can rewind it, especially if now you're watching the videotape. But that's one of the things that I like to do is get on early. And then this is my shout out day. On Wednesdays, I can talk to the audience and say, hey, what's up, Patty? Yeah, Patty Clumback. Okay, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. And then I get to have my little flashbacks to take me all the way back to our Wall Street Journal days when we met and how much fun we had, because we were part of the shaping of corporate America. Because these days you hear a lot of people say, well, corporate America this, corporate America that. Well, it was so impersonal, but I had such wonderful friends that I met at the Wall Street Journal. And the Wall Street Journal, by the way, is owned by Dow Jones, so you don't get more corporate than that. And we had such a loose atmosphere. So thanks again, Patty, for coming on, and looking forward to sharing the message that you do. We've got less than 5 minutes because, like I said, I came on early. If this is your first time watching Glue Wednesday, I created Glue Wednesday back in 2017, and I created it based on the fact that so many times people said Wednesday was hump day, the cliche hump day, because it was the middle of a 5-day work week. And back in old school with old school rules, we used to just look at the Monday to Friday and the weekend as two separate things. And so shift time has always been there. Flexible hours. So, but we didn't pay attention to that back then. All right. And so always a pleasure. We did, and we still do have a good time. That's right. So back then, what we used to do was that Monday was called hump day. Wednesday is called hump day, and it still is. But what I say is Wednesday is actually the middle of a traditional 7-day week, regardless of when you work. So Wednesday is the day that keeps the week beginning and the weekend together. And so I see Wednesday as the glue. It brings me into one of my favorite poses, the prayerful mode. And I see Wednesday as the glue that keeps the week together. So that's why I called it Glue Wednesday. And then taking it to my biblical heights, because I like my spiritual growth. And then I say that glue is GLUE. God's love undoes everything. Not that his love will tear things apart, but that it will keep things that are torn apart. It'll get them back together. So it's just a matter of getting God's love in the right place. In other words, recognizing that it's always in the right place. So getting ourselves in the right place, the right frame of mind. So that's why I like you say there, Patty. I enjoy these Monday mornings. This is my first afternoon. Okay, yeah. On Mondays I do the MMM, the Monday morning moment. No need to not let you know what I'm doing, and that's a 1 to 2 minute. I tape it on Sunday nights, and then I just schedule it and a broadcast to get you Monday off to a start. Then Wednesday I do 30 to 35 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes of the Glue Wednesday. This is the sharing one where I'm talking to people, even though I have prepared words. And then on Friday, I do what's called Gift Friday. And the gift is GIFT, God is for today. And that broadcast is usually 8 to 12 minutes where I will read one of my original poems and then talk about how you can use that poem in your life. And then I gift it to you because I'll put the connection that you can go to my website and download a free colorful PDF copy that you can use and you can save. And they're all archived there. So if you've missed one, just go to the site, sportyking.com, go under, you'll see it in the bars. It'll say Gift Friday. You can drop it down and get a copy of it, as well as you can also see all of my broadcasts on my YouTube channel, which is Sporty King. So we've got options, y'all. We've got all this social media now and technology, and old folks, hey, we've got to use it. let's not give the young people all the credit. They didn't create it. We created it because we wanted shortcuts. And so now we got the shortcut. So let's make sure that we use our shortcuts to their best advantage. Okay, we got less than a minute for today's message. So um so that's really pretty much it. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So thank you, Patty, for reminding me of that, because sometimes I usually say it at the end, and I think it's a good thing I'll start saying it at the beginning now. And see, that's what sharing is about. You don't have to, I don't have to be right about everything. I'm right in my mind and in my heart and my spirit, but I'm open to somebody else being right. Sharing and contributions about hearing and then using what someone else has gifted you with, because it is a gift when someone gives you their opinion and they share what they think. So, so it really is important to do that. Okay. So looking forward to it. Cool. You're welcome. Okay. Thank you. All right, cool. So let's get today's message started, okay? Because today, so we understand what Glue Wednesday is all about, but today what I'll be doing is I'll continue what I call the GAS series. Now the GAS is the Glue Alphabet series. Like I said, I started the Glue Wednesday in 2017, but then when the pandemic hit last year, I upped my broadcast to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and to try to come up with a message every day, it was taxing on me because I'm still trying to do things with my business and get it together myself. So I created the Alphabet series, where what I do is every week I would tell people, okay, next week we're going to focus on this letter. So I would ask you to put a word in the feed that begins with the next featured letter, and I would incorporate, because of my creativity, I would incorporate that into my message. So, I'm going to still say this in my intro, but each message features the next letter in the alphabet with words suggested by last week's viewer. So this week we will feature the letter M. And my co-authors with the letter M today are Carolyn Simmons Bright, who gave me magnificent. Roger Carroll Rogers gave me middle. Martha BL gave me marvelous, and Ramona Hopkins gave me mindfulness. So you can do that at any time during the broadcast. Next week's letter is going to be the letter N. So if you want to get a word in the broadcast, put any word that begins with the letter N into the thread. And even if you're watching the video, you can still get involved, because I'll create it after I go through and collect all the words, and I just move them into my message. So, and who knows what the message will be right next week. And right now we want to say hi to one of my longtime homeboys. Vic always comes in. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. All right. And then we got another cool from Patty, because she just got the instructions. And see, so already Vic has nice. So the word nice will be in the message next week. And so that's my wonderful, enjoyable, creative challenge that I like to take upon myself, is getting the people's words into the message. I don't know what the message is going to be, the topic. The topic won't necessarily begin with the letter N, but the featured words will be. So every year, so today, so my M words today, you see my M words there in the feed. Let me take a minute to see what we got here. You know what? This is one of my favorite things that I like to talk about when I'm speaking live, because this is just like kids. Oh, he took my word. I love it. You could still put N in there, because isn't having a double dose of nice a good thing? See, that's how I would use it. But it's funny, that's one of those comments we get from people all the time. You took you did this, and that's beautiful. But it gives me a fun break in my speaking to say to somebody, hey, you don't own that word. Do you got a copyright on the word nice, Patty? Do you own it? Are you getting royalties every time someone says nice? So you could still use the same word. And again, I would have to come up with a way to highlight the fact that we got a double dose of nice, or maybe use nice in two different spots. Whatever. You don't have to. You can still come up with another word. Now you better type faster. Hey, you used to be in advertising. You got to type fast. But that's another thing that we have to look in sharing in our lives, is that, isn't it great to see that someone has the same thing that we have? Isn't it great that you have the same, you're thinking of the same word? The problem that's going on in our society now, but it's been always been there. It's just a little more prominent right now because of where we are in our walk with life. And that is that we are focused on the differences instead of the commonalities. We have so much more in common than we have in opposition. And so we've got to, when people want to have, let's have the talk about racism and sexism. And, we can't have the talk unless we are willing to talk about the commonalities. Once we can find common ground, that's the only way we respect one another's opinion. See, if I don't respect your opinion, if I don't want to hear what you have to say, you may be saying the greatest thing and have the greatest solution to the challenge that we have. But because I don't respect your opinion and your words and I won't listen to them, we can't get to your solution. So that's what we have to do is let's look for the commonalities and then let's smile and laugh about it. Even Patty smiled when she said, he took my word. Didn't sound like a little kid. You took my words. You took my crayon. All right. And then Vic smiled back. And then we have to remember LOL. And that's another thing in technology. There's no sarcasm emotions. It's so important for you to go with the full idea and sometimes type in that emotion, y'all, because people don't know the emotion that you're sharing through typed words, which is why a lot of people don't like them. But that's also why people cut words short. But every abbreviation is not a standard abbreviation. Slow down. What's the rush? Especially if you're doing email or text message, you got time. It's not time sensitive. Somebody is not necessarily going to instantly see your message. They may be doing something else. And then the thing that I always remind people, email is not text messages. You may send an email like I'm talking to you now and say, look, I just sent you an email, and you'll be sitting there and it's like, it's not here yet because it's not instant. If I say, here's a text, it's a conversation. We write back in there. Okay. So that's cool. All right. But you think of another one, then that's fine. And that's fine. But like I said, I just thank you because that's the lesson that I get to share. And that's what I do for a living. Is just take messages and funnel them back out. All of us do that. But are you conscious of it? Because it's a gift. It's a gift that we all have. That's how you share, is to take it and put it in your words. So that, because you're somebody's messenger. Remember, I always say, choose your messengers carefully and recognize that you're being carefully chosen as a messenger. So there's, for instance, a lot of times, I'm always very spiritual in what I say. And so I remember when I started my speaking business, and I wondered if I was a speaker or if I had the calling to preach, because I always talked about God in my speaking. And then, so what I had to realize is that, I consider myself a speaker, but I'm an inspirational and I'm a spiritual speaker, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so one of the things I said to one of my cousins, Gerald, who's a pastor, I said to him, I said, see, we have the same message and thoughts. I said, but there are places I can get in that you can't, because you have that reverend in front of your name, or pastor, or in front, or your divinity initials behind your name. And that's real. See, so every one of us has a message, that a name, a title that gets us into a different part where the message needs to be shared. Don't worry about taking someone else took your title. It's good to know that Vic and Patty had nice on their mind, because Vic and Patty don't live together. They don't even know one another outside of this broadcast. But now guess what? We know that both of their neighborhoods, both of their sources of people, spheres of influence, are hearing the word nice. Or the thought nice. So now we've got a chance for those two communities to come together. Sounds simplistic. It's not. But it really is just that easy. So now we got two people who thought nice. But if we get three, now we got four. So all of these people are out preaching the word, sharing the word of being nice. And then that's really how it happens. Even if you think about the disciples, what did Jesus do? They were all sent out with the same message, and they had to preach it in different places so that people would do what? come together as one. So I know that was a long answer to that one thing, but that's the beauty of it all. Sometimes we don't need to shorten it. Sometimes take your time, y'all, especially if you're explaining things to kids. Keep your patience factor where it needs to be. They need to hear it over and over again. Don't decide, well, dang, I said it to them 4 times. Maybe the 5th is their magic number. Maybe the 6th. People learn according to where they are, not where you are. And don't, when you explain something to somebody the second time and the third time, you change the wording in it. You don't say it exactly the same way you said before, unless you're reading it. You change the analogies for them. So that's really what's going on. So let's get some yeses there. And let's, yes, we have a lot in common. And yes, absolutely. And not, see already, Patty's doing a nice to meet you, Vic. Yeah, and see now there's another commonality: sense of humor. Sense of humor. You know, I have a picture that I use in my presentations, and a little black girl sitting on a bench, and she's smiling, and the caption is, "We all smile in the same language." We all smile in the same language. Yeah, you know, that's why kids are so wonderful. They cracking up laughing, and it's us grown up is tearing things apart. But we all smile in the same language. Everybody could just be nice. It's possible. It's possible. But come on, y'all. We're not beating ourselves up when we find ourselves not being nice. Because just as we can be nice, we can be naughty. You know, we can be negligent. You know, this is what we are. It's human. But can you get yourself back to being nice? I always say I can't be positive 365 24/7. I'm not. But I can be positive more than negative. I can be up more than down. I can be going forward more than going backwards. And there's nothing wrong with reframing going backwards to meaning sometimes you just want to step back and take a look at your work. Take a look at what God has gifted you with. And that's what helps you continue to propel yourself forward. So slow down and forgive yourself. It is so important to forgive yourself. Sometimes we lose that fact. We think we have to forgive others, but we don't. We don't, because the truth is we can't. We can't forgive them. They have to forgive themselves. God forgives them. You have to forgive yourself. So let's look at it. So true. And that can go to just about anything that I say. Amen. Thank you, Patty. I'm on a tape delay, so I don't always see when you are making a comment about what I'm saying. And that, again, see, explain technology to people. You don't know who is it's their first time on. And that's what we have to do, okay? Same here. Vic saying same hi to Patty too, okay? And then LOL, yes. And then thanks, Vic. All right. And then amen. And now let's get back to the lesson, back to today's message. So we've got there, those are my co-authors, and you'll be listening, or you may hear the word magnificent, middle, marvelous, or mindfulness. I'm not going to say, oh, I just said the word. You'll either hear it or you won't. Not important, but the people who it's their word, 8 times out of 10, they will probably hear it. And that's the beauty of it all. My message today is birth. Birth, B-I-R-T. You see, each year I create and choose a new inspiration to send you who are celebrating what my mother used to call a birth date. Though many call it a birthday, her teaching was that you only have one day that you were born, and that every year after that is the celebration of that date. So that's why I say happy birth date anniversary celebration. And that's where I got that from, as my mother, and I love to honor her by keeping that tradition going. So it doesn't matter. Now, it doesn't matter if you see it that way, by the way. It's not a debatable philosophy. It's mine. It's a way of life that I use in sharing life and my message. You don't have to use this. I'm not trying to get people to say, oh, we got to stop saying birthday and say birthday. No. That's the fun that I'm having. You better be entertaining yourself with the things that you do and say. That becomes important, because that way it keeps you from relying on someone else for entertainment and support, aka inspiration. Okay, inspiration and motivation to take care of yourself. You've got to know how to talk to yourself and pick yourself up in case there's nobody else around. So I don't need you to agree with it. It's a way of life that I use in sharing life. And each of us has one or more of these little viewpoints to share. So that's one of mine. What's one of yours? That's important. Keep what's yours. So what I do is I change my message every year on my birth date anniversary, August 27th. And then that's the message that you will all receive on yours. Well, why would I send everybody the same greeting? And if I've sent yours already, does it feel like it wasn't as personal as you thought it was? No, no, no. I actually say it was. You see, first of all, here's the greeting that I've been sending since August 27th, 2020. And if you've already had your birth date since then, up until now, that's what you got. And those of you who haven't, this is the message that you'll be getting up until August 26th, 2021. Birth. That's the message. Birth, breathe, breath, inspiration, resilience, trust, happiness. As these gifts welcome you to your next day, celebrate it several times and with countless people as we celebrate you. Celebrate your birth and your date and your anniversary several times and with countless people. So, I'm saying celebrate all year, but keep celebrating it. All right. And last year it was happy birth anniversary celebration. As your blessing dial returns to 1, may you enjoy the pace of the next 364 with continued peace of mind and God's grace, appreciating that pace is not a race. And the year before that, it was happy birth anniversary celebration. As you enjoy your new season, keep your smile shining and reflecting the inner spirit that loves signing up for another 365 in moments that lead you to the one. My point is, each one of those is really good, isn't it? Each one of those is really, really good. And so why would I couldn't make up 364 better ones each day, so that's why I just use one for the year. I couldn't think of 364 better ones each day. So why would I cheat you out of my offering from what I consider to be the top shelf? Okay. First, we want to say hello to Tony, who just joined us. Hello, family. It says Shirley, but her middle name is Antoinette. So that's Tony, y'all. All right. So what I want to do is I want to walk you through them. And I know I clicked them on fast because I'm bringing them back up. I want to walk you backwards through them slowly. So let's take the first one. The one was from 2 years ago. Happy birth anniversary celebration. As you enjoy your new season, keep your smile shining and reflecting the inner spirit that loves signing up. So I'm going to sign up for another 365 in moments that lead you to the one. Celebrating your birth starts a new season. See, this is your new season. Throughout your life, certain milestone ages gave you a new freedom or eligibility, including the thought that you'd never get to that age. Now, for me, that age was 30. I didn't think that I'd make it to being 30 years old. Back when I was 10 years old, 30 was old. And not that I lived such a dangerous or wild lifestyle. Our projects, Vic knows this and plenty of people, our projects was pretty mild and cohesive. And it was not a young black boy syndrome thing where I was worried about the cops and all of that. No, it was just a simple thing. I didn't think I was going to make it to 30. That's it. So I lived year 29 with quite a bit of expectation of wondering, am I going to make it to 30? So you want to talk about somebody who celebrated 30 like none other, or actually 30 and one day. And then certainly when I hit 31, made all the way through 30. Yeah, because it was just a strange feeling that I had. I remember that. Now, maybe if it was back in that day, I could probably talk more about it. I don't remember, but I know, and I don't know what year I started doing a countdown, but I know it wasn't at 29. I had that feeling earlier than that. I don't know if it was in my teens or when I got in my 20s. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was in my teens. Oh, believe me though, I have celebrated hard since August 27th, 1985, when I turned 30. And I continue to do so. Many of you know that I do. All right. But that's because of what I have right there. It's that inner spirit that I've developed that enjoys each day as a marvelous moment. That's that inner spirit. You have to make sure that you let your inner spirit enjoy each day as a marvelous moment. And then we can stop and say, Shirley saying hello to the family, Vic saying hello to Shirley, and then Patty saying hello to Shirley. Because right now I've got you three on live. And so this is our session. So other people will now join in on our session. Tony knows I used to always say, when we're together, people are with us. And so that's the way you have to sometimes look at life. Right now, it's our celebration, us three. So everybody else will come in and they'll be enjoying our celebration. All right. So am I on the right one? Yes. Okay. So from a marvelous moment, we have to move to a magnificent blessing dial. And that's the last year's message that I sent. Happy birthday anniversary celebration. As your blessing dial returns to one, may you enjoy the pace of the next 364. You got 365 more days in this 365, even though it was 365 because last year was a leap year. I should have put that in there. With continued peace of mind and God's grace, appreciating that pace is not a race. Pace is not a race. Pace is about taking your time and understanding what's going on with your blessing. So, have you ever thought about the fact that our dial resets at least once a year? At least once a year, your dial resets. And I say at least because you should have other milestone days that you're resetting. In fact, you better have some other ones that you are celebrating. However, when your dial resets for your new birth anniversary, you are one day into what I call the yearly celebration. See, so your birth date anniversary, that starts your celebrating all year, which is also why when people wish me a happy belated birthday, I tell them, you're not late. I'll be this blessing all year. And so that's what I'm saying. It's a yearly celebration. I'm celebrating. I'm 65. I will be 66 in August. I'm still celebrating 65. If you haven't wished me a happy 65, you can still do it because I haven't moved on from it. And P.S., by the way, you can still wish me a happy 60 because I did 60. Yeah, I had a happy 60. So that's what I'm saying. Let's not cancel out any celebrations. Celebrate your birth all year. So that's what I'll be doing is I'll be celebrating 65 all the way up until August 26th. Because guess what? We like to say it, spiritual Christian people. We like to say it. Who knows when God, every day could be your last. We like to say it, but then we don't know how to live it. I don't have anything in writing that says I'm going to make it to August 27th, 2021. I don't have it in writing. And my trust and faith and belief in God says it might not happen. So when that happens, I'm going to be fine with it, but I'm going to celebrate 65 till I don't have another day in 65 that I can celebrate. So what you say, Patty? That's good. I like that. Thank you. And you doing what? I'm doing 60 now. Yes. Till next February. Yeah, don't close it down. Sometimes when I remember, but it's a lot, y'all. I try to do a lot. Sometimes I like to send somebody, but I definitely do it with my nieces and nephews. I say, happy closeout day. Because whatever they, let them know. I know your birthday's tomorrow. So this is your last day at that age. So you also have a closeout day. See, you can celebrate everything. Patty, what I do, the 27th of every month, I celebrate being a month older. So there's something you can celebrate. So you can have 12 celebrations of your birth a year. Every 27th, you're a month older. Don't we do that to kids? Oh, they so cute. How old are they? 13 months. That's one. But we say 13 months. Okay, 23 months. They might as well go on and say 2. but we say 23 months. And so I think it's after 25, I think it's at 2, we start giving them the years and put it in the middle. So yeah, so you're not 60, you're 60 and some months. So since February, so March, April, May, March, April, you're 60 and 2 months. And so that's what you could do. And then you can take it take it as a countdown. At the month before your birthday, start doing a countdown, 30 days, and celebrate the 29th day of the last, oh my God, the last 10 days. Now I'm trying to do math backwards, but y'all know what I'm saying. Have your countdown. It's about celebrating yourself, and you celebrate yourself right here. It's about celebrating yourself. Cool. Close out day. What, oh boy, what do on the 4th of each month? Okay. We'll do that on the 4th. Oh, and then you also get the 4th of July. So we get to double celebrate you. Okay. Yeah, everybody, put your birth month, birth date in the thread so everybody can see, and then maybe other people will again have something the same. We could be celebrating the same day, and you just don't know it. Vic is going to be the 22nd. It's always going to be the 22nd. All right, so there's always that chance that somebody is May 22nd, somebody's June 22nd, somebody's December 22nd. See, come on. Commonalities. Looking for the commonalities. But you can only look for the commonalities if you will commit. And look at that. Bam! Tony's is the 4th too. So Patty and Tony, yeah, you got the 4th. The 4th, may the 4th be with you. Right? So that's what I'm saying. We have so much more in common. If we would just look for some of those things, now we can start to separate some of the weeds. Because now they got the 4th in common. Boom. That's what it's all about, is finding the commonalities. So, yeah, you can wish me a happy 65 all the way up to August 27th. I will be celebrating all year. Ooh, excuse me. All year long. Let me see a couple of comments. Oh, okay. So keep the laughter going. There we go. There we go. Exactly. We have so much in common. Amen. All right. So, and then, so where was I in the message? Oh, okay. So I always say, you're not late. I'll be in this blessing all year. I then proceed to enjoy my next 364 days. Guess what? With another new appreciation for what each day means. Think about that. Don't you have a new appreciation for each day now as you get older? And so as I'm celebrating, I'm like, wow, I made it to 65. But remember, this is somebody who didn't think going to make it to 30. So I'm 35 years past what I had given myself as a limit. And now, so I'm 35 and a day, 35 and a week. And I'm appreciating those days so much more because I really understand now at 65 that, hey, I have a niece that died at 46. I have let me go all the way back. I have a brother who died before he was a month old. So I never got to see him. I don't remember if he died. I know he didn't die at birth, but I don't know if it was in that first week or whatever, and we all know somebody. If you sat down, you go through it, put the numbers down, you can put a person's name to every single age that that somebody died at. Somebody died at birth. Somebody died after a month. Too. And you may not know them, but you can find them. Somebody is dying every minute and every moment of the day. That's not dreary. That's not dreary. That's just the way it is. That's why we give God thanks that we are not that somebody. And sure, we can mourn and grieve, but we have to, like to say, weeping cometh at night, but joy cometh in the morning. And what that's saying is the weeping at the night is that when that person's lights are out, they're gone, their eyes have been closed for the last time, there's nothing but darkness. That's the weeping that we'll have because that person is now gone from our physical life. But joy comes in the morning because we still see the sunshine. Last week, the message was look for the rainbows while it's raining, not after the rain, but look for it while it's raining because we all have to recover from the loss of somebody, our loved ones, etc. So I want to throw that amen up there because we got to have our little church moment as well. That's an important thing to have. All right. Okay. So So back to this message. So like I say, I celebrate all 364. And isn't that how we feel at our new ages? And that feeling is about how much wiser we've become to know that we need to pace our celebration and appreciation for each of those gifts called days. So that, oh, okay, I was on the wrong click. That's supposed to be in there. All right. Nope, I was in the right spot. I was in the right spot. Okay. All right. Slow down, me. All right. But yeah, we have a new appreciation for each of those gifts that we call days. And that mindful appreciation is what brings us to birth, breath, inspiration, resilience, trust, and happiness. Five priceless gifts that we've also been blessed to take for granted. And now follow me with each of those words until we meet someone on a ventilator. Changes our taking it for granted that we breathe. Until we meet someone who takes their own life because they've been told they never amount to anything. Someone without inspiration. Someone who refused to take their own life after being told they never amount to anything. Someone who is resilient. Someone who has to believe in unconditional love again after losing both parents at an early age. Someone who has to learn to trust again, and someone who cannot find anything in their lives to be happy about. Do you see how we take breath, inspiration, resilience, trust, and happiness, how we can take those things for granted until we meet someone who doesn't have that and don't have the chance to take that for granted? And that's what I'm saying with having birth as as these gifts welcome you to your next day, celebrate it several times and with countless people as we celebrate you. And in the middle of all of this, we have to believe and remember that we're worth being celebrated every day. You see, we've got to find the new reasons before anyone else does, or we risk the chance of not being emotionally available to receive our own gift of someone celebrating us. You've got to know that you're worthy of being celebrated so that when you are celebrated, you know how to appreciate it and accept that gift to its fullest. And I want to stop there and get it absolutely on that. You have to really understand that. And it's tough. Why? Because of the messengers, the noise in our ears where people are telling us what we don't have, talking about I call it our lack record, what we don't have to be successful, to be a good partner, to make it through, to pass a test, to make a team. You know, we get so caught up in what we don't have based on other people's belief that we start to believe it. You can only lose to yourself. You can't lose to another person. They can beat you physically in something, and but until like to say, it's not over till the fat lady sings. That saying, it says, until I'm dead, I got another chance. So that's what we have to look at. Yes, indeed. Okay. So those are two important words to have in our vocabulary. Yes and indeed. So, excuse me. Breath, inspiration, resilience. Oh, okay. Okay. Whoops. Oops. I skipped one thing I want to say to you, that you have to be emotionally available to receive your gift. And so I send you this message. Everybody gets this message for my birth year anniversary. Everybody gets that same thing so we can all celebrate it. I send you all the same message. Why? Because I mean it. I mean this for each and every one of you. I mean this. And even if you may see it on someone else's page, it gives you another chance to absorb it. Because maybe I get so many people that think, oh, I love this message every year. Yeah, every year. And so, yeah, I'm going to send it to everybody. Because why? Didn't I say earlier, we're nice and nice. We're looking for the commonalities. 4 and 4. Patty, you've been the glue for Vic and Shirley, because you had nice in common with Vic and you had fourth in common with Shirley. So you're the glue right now. So now you can see yourself as the center. See, it's all how we find any of those moments to put ourselves as the center, the nucleus. And once you see that, because the nucleus is the brain, once you see that, you see, I'm worthy of being celebrated. I'm worthy of being celebrated. So even as you see it on someone else's page, you get a chance to absorb it. And more importantly, you get a chance to celebrate one another and yourself. You have to celebrate yourself. So breath, inspiration, take them down. Breath, inspiration, resilience, trust, and happiness. I have no idea how I'm going to top that. How I'm going to top that for next year's message. I have no idea. Yet, thank God, I've got until August to pace myself, to come up with it, or actually to relay it from my inner spirit with each post and smile of firm belief that glue, God's love, undoes everything and allows us to celebrate you and not just your birth, but your life. LIFE, lessons intended for everyone. Continue to share, care, and dare to make a positive difference by sharing your life because your life is one of the most important lives the rest of us have in our puzzle. Thank you. Next week, I'll be using the letter N, as you know. And if you'd like to get a word with the letter N included in the message, drop it in the thread, and I will negotiate a way to make you a co-author of the message. Meanwhile, wear your mask. Even after you get your shot, you still want to wear your mask because that's how you're going to be able to make a difference for all of us. And then what you say there, Patty? Thank you, the glue. Thank you, Sporty. Really enjoyed this with you. And by the way, nourishing. Nourishing and nurturing. You'll find it just fine. Yes, I will. Everybody be safe and keep spreading the light. Yep. And that's beautiful. I'm in for spreading the light. Amen. So wear your mask, even if you've gotten your shot. I'm Sporty King. Thanks for watching, enjoying, and participating, engaging in Glue Wednesday. Please be sure to catch this and always any of my broadcasts here on Facebook or by subscribing to my YouTube channel where they line up easily, each one in a row. Okay. Thanks again. God bless you. And because that's what he does. Glue Wednesday, Sporty King. You. Happy birth. Ciao.